What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Shout out to the Kofi gang for being in here, being involved and being active. Today we are back with more fresh reaction videos, and we are back again with Cimorelli. The first video that we checked out was amazing. That was an introduction to the infinite number of sisters, like there are like 1,000 of them. Shout out to them. I really enjoy their voices. Let me see if I can remember their name. Is it Christine, Danny or Danny? Amy. There's an Amy, which was my favorite one. She was so cute. Let me see if I can remember more. Was there a... I think that's it. I think that's all I remember. Okay. They're gonna mention their names again, I'm sure. But today we're going to check out Demi Lovato's "I Love Me" covered by Cimorelli. And this video was made possible and requested and sponsored by Spacey Doodle, one of my patrons. Shout out to you, really appreciate you. Without much ado, let's get to the agenda on the line. Let's check this out. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you have any other recommendations, let me know in the comment sections below or slide my DMs on Instagram. Also, don't forget to hit the bell button when you subscribe so you can get notification every time I post, because I post every single day. If you would love to see more Cimorelli, I'm not sure why I keep saying Cimorelli content on my channel, you know, you guys know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, flood my notifications with more requests for this artist, and I'll keep reacting to this artist. The more you guys flood in, the more I do the artist of your choice. So shout out to you guys. Let's get to the agenda on the line. Let's go.
Hey, I'm Christina. I'm Catherine. I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren. And we're Cimorelli. We are all...
Oh, there's less of them now. There's only 5. Okay. Before that, there were like 9. This is Cimorelli, yeah?
And we're Cimorelli. We are all sisters ages 21 to 29. We make original music.
All right. Let me get your names again, man. So Christina, Catherine.
Hey, I'm Christina. I'm Catherine. I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren. And we're Cimorelli.
So Christina, Lisa, Amy, Lauren. What's the other one? Catherine. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, Lauren. Hey, there we go. I like Amy. Amy's so cute. Lisa's beautiful.
We are all
They're
sisters
beautiful.
ages 21 to 29. We make original music. One more time. We are all sisters ages 21 to 29. We make original music, covers, and other fun videos, and we upload every single Cimorelli Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Cimorelli Saturday.
Make sure you follow us on Spotify, where you can listen to this song and other covers and originals that we release every month.
We're gonna do "I Love Me" by Demi Lovato.
All right, let's go.
Flipping through all of these magazines, telling me who I'm supposed to be. Way too good at camouflage. Can't see what I am, I just see what I'm not. I'm guilty about everything that I eat. Feeling myself is a felony. Jedi level sabotage. Voices in my head make up my entourage. Cause I'm a black belt and I'm beating up on myself, but I'm an expert at giving love to somebody else. And me, myself, and I don't see eye to eye. Me, myself, and I. Why do I compare myself to everyone? And I always got my finger on the self-destruct. I wonder when love me is enough.
I'm not sure why I said Danny. Catherine, right? Yeah, and shout out to Amy. The smooth kind of baritone sound. I think she's the one doing that part.
Self-destruct. I wonder when I love me is enough. I wonder when I love me is enough. Why am I always looking for a ride or die? Cause mine's the only heart I'm gonna have to love. After all the times I went and messed it up, I wonder when I love me
love
is
the
enough.
voices.
That live on the internet, live in my head, should be paying rent. I'm way too good at listening. All these comments messing with my energy. Cause I'm a black belt when I'm beating up on myself, but I'm an expert at giving love to somebody else. And me, myself, and I don't see eye to eye. Me, myself, and I. Oh, why do I compare
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, I'm impressed. The intensity, you know, intensity, it's just like non-stop. That's what I wanted to say. Like it's always going. They keep going. And then they come in. Yeah, I love that they always do that, man. They give that kind of, you know, that pentatonic effect. You know, they are filling in all the gaps. There isn't a gap in there unless it's intentional, right? But man, I love that. I love their voices, their harmony, some of the chords that they strike. Oh man, and I love the piano. I'm thinking that the piano is a bit overpowered. No, their harmonies are overpowered by the piano. Maybe they planned it that way, but I would love to hear more of the harmonies than the piano, because we all know the piano sounds good. Yeah, it sounds good. Sometimes I want to actually focus on their voices, and sometimes they get overpowered by the piano. That's just me anyway, because I'm just a harmony geek. Anyway.
My head should be paying rent. I'm way too good at listening. All these comments messing with my energy. 'Cause I'm
I love that.
when I'm beating up on myself, but I'm an expert at giving love to somebody else. And I need myself and I don't see eye to eye. Need myself and I. Oh, why do I compare myself to everyone? And I always got my finger on the self-destruct. I wonder when I love me is enough.
Come on, Lisa.
I wonder when I love me is enough. Why am I always looking for a ride or die? 'Cause mine's the only heart I'm gonna have.
Come on, Lauren. I think Lauren does the first in a while. Lauren is the one in the white shirt, and she does the higher soprano, right? I love her voice, man, and the fact that she's you know, really killing the piano. Oop.
Wonder when I love me is enough. Why am I always looking for a ride or die? 'Cause mine's the only heart I'm gonna have for love.
Come
Sometimes I
on,
wanna mess it up.
Christina.
I wonder when I love me is enough. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Come on, Amy.
I wonder when I love me is enough. I wonder when I love me is enough. I'm my own worst critic, talk a whole lot of, but I'm a 10 out of 10, even when I forget it.
Okay, Lauren.
I'm a 10.
That was so satisfied. that was like after a very hot meal, you get that cold drink just goes down, and you're just like, oh. that was that. That was that, man.
Forget it. How?
Oh,
I'm a 10 out of 10, don't you ever forget it. I'm my own worst critic, talk a whole lot, but I'm a 10 out of 10.
Come on, Amy.
You don't wanna forget it. Oh, oh. I'm a 10 out of 10,
harmonies,
don't you
man.
ever forget it. Yeah, 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 yeah. I wonder when
hey yo, Lisa. I didn't know that you lived in the sky that way. Okay, I see how it is. All right. Huh. See, Amy's cute. I love Amy, but Lisa is kind of winning me over with her voice, man. Wow.
don't you ever forget it.
Oh.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I wonder when I love me is enough. I wonder when I love me is enough. Yeah, 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 yeah. I wonder when I love me is enough. I wonder when I love me is enough.
That was absolutely stunning. Their voices blend so well, man. It's almost as though they all have the same DNA. Right? I mean, like, oh man. Anyway, let's watch their shenanigans. I know they're gonna do bloopers and everything else.
When we were planning this video, we were all talking about how this song is so meaningful and deep, and how we wanted to put something a little more meaningful into this specific cover. We decided we would have a little discussion about some of the lyrics and the content of the song and get vulnerable and real with you guys like we do on the Cimorelli podcast. We went through a bunch of the lyrics. We want to talk about the line, "Can't see what I am, I just see what I'm not." Relatable, right? Relatable for everyone, but not me. I'm just kidding. Lisa always makes that joke. Okay. We just have this tendency to zero in on our flaws and then ignore all the good things about ourselves.
You could get a ton of compliments, a lot of good comments about yourself, but then one person says one negative thing, and that's what you replay in your mind all day, all week, maybe even for the rest of your life.
So for you guys, what do you feel like are things about yourself that you're always focusing on that are like negative? And then are there any good things about yourself that you feel like you always just kind of ignore?
I notice myself constantly critiquing myself and being like, oh, you messed that up, you didn't do that good enough, you failed at that, you like missed all these things, you should do this, whatever, because I'm tired and pregnant, but you know, it's like, you missed all those things, you're not doing enough, and the things you're doing, you're not doing well enough. I'll ignore all the things in a week that I actually did, or something where I didn't do the best job on it, but it was my first time, and I was really brave for trying it, but I'll totally ignore that fact.
This actually ties back to another line in the
Well, congratulations to Christina on your pregnancy. I'm not sure when you were pregnant on this. 2020. All right. Well, I hope you're still not pregnant. Well, if you're pregnant, maybe it's a new baby, not this baby. That would be quite alarming. But yeah, congratulations on your new baby.
song when she says, oh, guilty about everything that I eat. When I was a troubled teenager, I had horrible body image issues, and it's still not perfect, but it's a lot better. But I really was feeling guilty about every single thing that I ate. I would only focus on, I really want my legs to look like this, and they're not that. Like I could only see like the look that other people had that I didn't have, and I could never see anything about myself like, oh, but that's nice or that's okay. And it's weird because at that time I was actually like in boxing and working out every single day, like for sports. Like I was very physically fit. I just didn't have the Barbie dream girl look that I was imagining in my head. I don't even know what it was. And I could not see how strong I was. And I was amazing. Now I'm like, wow, I would give anything to feel as strong as I did then, even if I didn't look like that.
Something that I felt a lot during my teen years as a very like quiet introvert, I would see all these people that were so like fun and outgoing and had all these friends, and like it seemed like it was so easy for them to like meet people and talk to people and have those like small talk conversations. I just thought that I was this boring lump person with no personality, so I was like, I don't know how to do anything, and all these other people, they know how to make friends and how to talk to people, but I don't know how to do that. But I was actually overlooking all of the strengths of being like an introverted, more quiet person, like being really observant of other people and being a good listener, and just being like a calming presence. I just didn't like value any of that, even though those are all actually really good qualities in a person.
Similar to what Christina was saying, I've always really struggled with follow through, and like I'll start and then not finish, and sometimes I will finish.
Yes, that is me, 100%. Yes.
Things, but I feel like I don't notice that. I feel like when I finish something, I just think, okay, what am I gonna do next? Or I'll, dwell on the other things that I wanted to get done that I never got done. And it's like the small accomplishments just completely go overlooked. I don't think about, oh, but you have done all these other things that are awesome.
I'm nervous. I'm always nervous.
Okay.
I
That's my girl.
was always and still am, I guess, not to the degree that I was. Sorry, when I get nervous, I start choking. It's a thing about being anxious. It was a
She reminds me of Amy in Pitch Perfect. What a coincidence that her name is Amy. She reminds me of Amy in Pitch Perfect. So funny.
I get nervous, I start choking. It's a thing about being anxious. It was a huge insecurity. Now it's more like lower level, but it's this level of this feeling of I'm so anxious and stressed out and so much to like handle because I'm always having a freaking meltdown, and I feel like the least stable human being that has ever existed. I always put this pressure on myself to be like stable and quiet and like someone who doesn't demand a lot from people, which now I'm looking back and realizing I am not this wild hurricane that I thought that I was. And even when I'm anxious or stressed, I still am coming through for people and being dependable, which was the thing that I was like crucifying myself for not being.
What are some ways where you can work on actually seeing those good things about yourself intentionally and changing those old habits of constantly focusing on the negative or where you're lacking?
This is my metaphor. Imagine there's a person that you want to beat up, but you can't, so you beat up a punching bag. My body was the punching bag, but it wasn't the actual person, if that makes sense. Like, I realized that I just kind of hated myself, as dark as that is, but I was like trying.
I don't think that is dark at all in any way. I think that's a lot of people think that way more than we would like to admit.
Trying to find a reason that I hated myself. So it's like, oh, it must be the way that I looked. But then as time went by and I got older, I realized every time that I'm critical of what I look like, it's actually just a sign that I am feeling down on myself in general. So I can completely forget about my body and just say, okay, what's really going on here, Lisa? This is just an indicator that you need to take care of yourself and look inside.
And like go to the root of
Go to the root of the problem and fix
Yeah.
that. Your body's not the problem.
I either do this just talking to myself, or I do this talking to Nick. You have to have a really trustworthy and caring person to do this with. The other night, I had basically the conversation of what I just said with Nick, my husband, and I was like, I feel like I'm failing in all these things and I'm a failure, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, you're not. You're being way too hard on yourself. And he went through all this stuff. He was like encouraging and like validating all those things. And you can do that for yourself as well. So you could say to yourself, oh, I feel like I'm a failure and I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. And then you say to yourself, no, you're not. You're not a failure. You did this, you did that. You don't deserve to sit there and call yourself a failure every day.
Yeah, I think we don't take the time to intentionally look for good things about ourselves. We just kind of believe the bad things that people say or that we just think.
Yeah, we don't take the time.
Yeah, for me, I had to start with like going on walks and like just thinking about it and being like, okay, what are good things about me? What are things that I value about myself? Because I'm the one that matters. I am the one that I'm desperately trying to win over, and every single human could all have a summit worldwide and be like, yes, you are great. And I'd be like, you're all liars. Unless I believed it.
Our mind, for some reason, prioritizes the negative and says, oh no, this is gonna be too boring, or like, you don't have time for that. If you wanna sit there and actually take the time to build yourself up.
I think it's a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
Let yourself see the good things and value them.
What's been most helpful for me is just trying to re-evaluate my own standards and realize like being so perfectionistic about everything, that everything has to be perfect, I just feel so miserable. I just tell myself instead, maybe I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. That really motivates me a lot more.
Supposed to does not exist. It's not a thing.
If I was supposed to be there,
There's nowhere you're
I would be
supposed
there.
to be.
All right, that's all the discussion we can do for now, but you guys can probably tell we could talk about this for a really long time,
Yes.
which we actually
Yes, you
do
could.
on our podcast episodes, the Cimorelli podcast,
Shout out
and
to
we
them,
have
man.
a separate YouTube channel. The link's in the description, I hope.
Yes, it
Description of this, yeah. The link is in the description of this.
All right, I'm gonna have to talk because I feel like they're going to joke in about 2 minutes and I'm going to forget all that I needed to say. So they've raised a lot of important points, man, and a lot of people go through emotional turmoil in that way more than other people, so it's very important to not invalidate other people's how other people feel, so everyone go through things differently and experiences stuff differently. So but listening to all of them, I can kind of relate to a little bit of what everyone has gone through. So I definitely can see things from their perspective, and that is true. One thing is that I wanted to say is that I think it's something that Catherine said and Amy said. I'm going to say what Catherine said because that's the one I remember first, and that is the defense. It's a defense mechanism. It's a defense mechanism when you are having those negative thoughts or negative images about yourself. And then Amy also said that you can gather around everyone around the world to tell you how much amazing you are, and because you can't believe them because you just can't. Your brain cannot accept those things because you don't believe it, and until you believe it, like no matter how many people say it, you can't believe it until you yourself believe it, right? And that's the thing. So Catherine's saying, wait, what did Catherine say? Damn, I forgot. Yo, my brain. You guys see how much information I can retain in like 5 seconds. All right. So Amy saying you lie, and then yes. So Amy said it's your defense mechanism. I don't think it's actually a defense mechanism. I think it's the comfortable point of default. I would say that's what I would call it, and I just made that phrase up today. It's a comfortable point of default. That's your default position. The default position which you are comfortable in is having those negative thoughts, because most of the time, majority of the time, not all the time, most of the time, the people that you trusted the most are those voices that constantly ring in your ears that reinforces those negative thoughts about yourself. So it could be your primary caregiver, or your guardian, or your role model, or your parents, right? Well, parents are usually primary caregivers, but yes. So when that happens, those people that you trust, they were supposed to protect you from your own mind sabotaging itself. They were supposed to protect you by reinforcing positive thoughts about yourself, but they didn't protect you against all of those things. Neither did they protect you against themselves being your caregiver. Therefore, you grew up in such a situation where having negative thoughts about yourself were the default position. It's not a defensive mechanism, even though when you feel uncomfortable, that is the position where you return to. Hence, it kind of conflicts with the definition of defensive mechanism, where when you feel a sense of danger, you protect yourself. But this time, you're not actually protecting yourself. You are sabotaging yourself so that you can get that high that you're used to, right? So that is the situation. That's what usually happens, and I can relate to that very much. So I don't actually think it's a defensive mechanism. It's more of a comfortable point of default. Anyway, that's what I call it. But and also, yeah, very important. Like most of the things that you believe about yourself comes from your childhood, because that is where your brain is very, very, very impressionable, right? Very, very, very malleable. You can change it easily. You can build it up. You can imbue so much information that will change a child's life forever. And therefore, when your software, right? When your software is not built up, it's not when you don't have love and acceptance and individuality installed in your software or in your firmware, when you grow up and your hardware is ready to receive love, your software, being the brain, is not compatible with the environment that you're in, right? And therefore you cannot receive love, because that's not your software is not compatible with that, or the firmware is not compatible with that software, which is love. And therefore, no matter how many installations of love you install, the firmware is not compatible with that, because the primary firmware, or the primary hardware, that is the vessel, your brain, your body, your mind, your soul, if you will, it's not compatible with that. See, so especially if you grow up in an environment that did that to you, right? And that all of those things come from your childhood, and the people that you trusted the most betrayed your trust. That's what happened, right? And I'm not saying that it happens to a lot of people more than we would like to admit. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say.
And we talk about all sorts of topics on there. Recently we did perfectionism, body image, flirting 101,
toxic positivity.
Double the episodes are on Patreon, and half the episodes are on the channel. So if you join our Patreon, you get even more episodes. But anyway, if you like that, definitely subscribe or join Patreon and check out the Cimorelli podcast.
It's time for
Question of the Week!
Every week we answer a question from you guys from social media. This week we're answering a question from Twitter. This is from great username at Palopsafrank. If you know, you know. And her question is, if you had a boat, what would you name it?
I'll tell you right now, I would just put Giant Wimp Records on the side. That's the name.
For some reason, the Wombat is the first thing that pops into my head.
This doesn't really make sense because this is the name of a car, but this is just the first thing that pops into my head, which is the King Ranch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey.
I wanted to put something that has my nickname, which is Crisis Tina in it. Something with Crisis, but
No.
I can't think of what.
The Crisis.
The Crisis.
The Crisis Cruise.
The Crisis.
I have a fear of water in general.
When she goes to wash her hands, she's like,
No, I mean body bodies of water. I always feel like I'm gonna drown, and I also
you
get
take a
really
shower?
seasick. Also, if I'm gonna get on a boat, I think I'd want some reassurance. I think I'd name it like the Sturdy Sail or Old Sturdy or something.
Safe haven.
The Safe Haven. Something that makes me feel like this boat is gonna get
The safe space.
me through, and I'm not gonna die.
Please, quiet. Get sad. Here we go.
Get sad.
Just do it.
It gets sad.
Take 2, Tokyo Drift.
My hair's getting more oily by the second. These hormones are really pushing it.
Noise, that was an accent.
All right, everyone chill out. The beginning of the song is so chill, you can't believe it. Think of your struggle with self-love. 2, don't worry, it was 3. All right, 3. This is the emo part. It's more intense.
Glamorous. I wouldn't lie to you. Recording.
Every time you say I know, you stop growing.
I was gonna say before you go, by Lewis Capaldi.
Every time you say "I know," you stop growing. I like that. I mean, in the right context, I guess.
We finished filming, and I am emotionally exhausted.
All right, go for it. 3,
I love Amy, man.
3, 2, 1.
Wait, who's doing it?
You know it's not me. It's Amy. Just go.
Make sure you click subscribe and join the Sim Fam. We are a positive community who aims to uplift each other and really encourage each other and have fun, guys. So feel like you don't belong anywhere else.
I
You belong
love
here with us in
them.
the Sim Fam. So click subscribe and join the fam.
Thanks for watching. We love the Sim Fam.
I love that. Man.
Me.
It's Amy.
That was yeah. If you see me keep going up and down, that's because I keep on turning my radiator on and off. Man, that is just brilliant, man. I love them, man. I love them so much. Shout out to them. Shout out to Cimorelli, Lisa, Amy, Catherine, Lauren, Christina, Crisis, Tina. Yo, this was amazing. And yeah, I've said all I wanted to say. The music was beautiful. Their thought processes was amazing as well. I love to hear them talk, because when I was listening to it, I was being introspective and actually thinking about the things that I also talk on my channel as well. So yeah, maybe I'll talk about more stuff on this, maybe on my Patreon as well. Stealing their thunder, not really. They're way ahead of me. But anyway, shout out to them, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. If you'd love to see more Cimorelli content, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button as well, just so you can see my next reaction video. Shout out to you, and we're out. Peace.